Well, spring has finally sprung. We're well into the first week of May, and finally the sun is out. The temperatures are up, sort of 22, 23 degrees in the day. And importantly as well, the nighttime temperatures are up, touching towards double figures, rather than the frosty mornings we had last week, even though it was May. So we're out in the beautiful countryside. We also had a lovely walk down by the river again. Last night we heard the cuckoos, orange-tipped butterflies fluttering around, the mayflies were dancing. I'll put some of that footage on in a second for you. This is the time to really get yourselves and your kids outside, really enthuse May. May in England, it is a glorious time of year for any naturalist. The wildflowers, the reptiles, the insect life, the bird life. You've got to get outside and enjoy it now, guys. Guys, when you're out and about, let your kids get in the mud. Let your kids pick up mini beasts. Let your kids pick up anything that's safe to handle. If they pick the odd flower, this is all enthusing them, capturing their imagination. We can't just say, stop and look, but don't touch. We've got more than the sense of sight. Adults, and especially children, let them get in there. Let them get their hands dirty. Let them wonder as a mini beast wanders through their hand. More about that to come, but for now, just enjoy the sound of a cuckoo. let me show you an amazing sight. Look at this. A European 4-line snake with a freshly laid clutch of eggs. How amazing is that? She could still be laying, so I might leave her a little bit longer before we put those eggs in an egg box ready for the incubator. Not many bred in the UK really. 4-line snakes, amazing pet snakes, an amazing species to work with. The best looking babies, whoa, that you can actually see. Silver and black babies that change colour as they grow. I haven't set the moth trap yet this year, it's just been so cold. Look at this. An angle shades moth, very common, furls its wings up, and in the right setting, not there, great camouflage. So do bug hotels actually work? Do they provide a home for insects? Well, I think this answers your question. All these little solitary bees, these are not honeybees buzzing around a hive. These are solitary bees, masonry bees that are using those tubes, cut up bamboo, as storage of food where they can lay an egg for their grub, their larvae to grow and mature. So through spring, the adults are out, they've emerged from their pupa, just like a butterfly would, or a moth rather, the pupa, butterfly from a chrysalis. And their job is now to reproduce and make homes for their own children. But they're all together because there's lots of holes there, but it's not a colony, a functioning colony like honeybees. It's just, there's a lot of them because there's a lot of tubes, but they're making homes individually. Absolutely amazing, look at that. So for a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, there's a beehive, there's honeybees, they're crazy. These things are not going to bother you at all. We need bees, and the least bees we need for the countryside, really, for nature, are probably domesticated honeybees. It's actually all the other myriad of species of bees that we really need to be helping out for sure. Look at that. Brilliant. So, false water cobra, I think produced by myself. Rehomed this from a really lovely lad. And it says just too feisty. It's too feisty, too bitey, worries every time I open the enclosure. Now this snake's got plenty of body weight on it. But I can tell you now, typical false water cobra like that, it just hasn't been fed enough for a false water cobra. That's nothing, no slight on the lad, no slight at all. It's just one of those things. False water cobras that are really aggressive are usually actually food driven. This snake would probably be 3 times the size for its age if it was a holdback of mine. They are so food driven, they can seem aggressive. So I just picked this snake up from the enclosure, went to fetch it from the lad. Beautiful animal, and he loves the snake. And not aggressively, it just started trying to swallow my fingers and my hand. Totally food responsive, sniffing my fingers and then latching on and chewing. So beautiful animal, look at that, lovely. They are just lovely. Look at that, what a beautiful animal. But we'll feed her up and see how she changes as she ages, with a lot more handling and some more food. But look at that. False water cobra, showing us why, or how they got their name. Look at that. Beautiful. So now it's away from its enclosure. It's had a strange journey home. It's not thinking about food right now. A completely changed personality. Food not on its mind because, he says as it's sniffing me, because of course that scenario's been taken away. It's in a strange box, slithered around on the way home. As one great reptile keeper says, we're working with a different part of its mind. That responsive mind, food, 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 it's moving, grab it. It's now thinking, exploratory, a different beast entirely. I quite like the colour of this animal too. Look at that. We'll see how she goes and I'll report back. Dog snuffling around. Beautiful. Definitely, in my opinion, one of the best pet snakes you could ever get. You just need to understand these guys and their food response for sure. You won't get a more seemingly intelligent snake than a false water cobra. And I'd put these above, ahead of even dry markham. So the falconry centre, much like the English countryside right now, is looking stunning. A bit of sunshine just makes all the difference. The green and beautiful foliage set against the blue sky, it makes all the difference. The only problem is my phone camera is giving up the ghost and it will not focus properly. Someone's going to be buying a new phone. But look at that. It's a treat to be here in the evening when everyone's gone home. What a peaceful, wonderful place to be. And you can actually come and see it any weekend until October.